What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Pokemon Kyurem, which is being released into Pokemon Go. A lot of people have a lot of curiosities about this Pokemon. What is it going to be good at? Is it worth powering up? What about unlocking a secondary charge move? Do you want to use it for the raids? Do you want to use it for PvP? And of course, diving in so much further because this Pokemon in particular has two alternative forms, which will hopefully come into Pokemon Go a little bit later, known as the Black Kyurem and the White Kyurem. Very excited to talk about them as well towards the end of the video. But anyways, if you do enjoy this episode, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So Kyurem is a part dragon as well as ice type, so a little bit different than what we have seen in Pokemon Go. And as far as its stats are concerned, its best stat is the stamina stat at 245. That's ranked at 26, so very impressive. And then finally, its attack stat's actually worth mentioning as well. But unfortunately, compared to other dragon type Pokemons, it is a little bit on the lower side, where we've seen some Pokemon with 270 plus attack stats. For example, something like a Rayquaza. And then overall, we end up seeing a ranking of 64th. So as far as the stats are looking, honestly, there's really not any type of red flags for this Pokemon. When you take a look at it, you should be hyped for this Pokemon based on its stats. But of course, as we know, Niantic likes to nerf Pokemon in different ways. And unfortunately, it comes down to the moveset. And in this particular case, I would argue that Kyurem was nerfed based on the moveset. Let me know what you think about Niantic doing that in the comments section below. Movesets are very vast. Niantic handpicks these moves, which makes it a little bit frustrating when you have a very good legendary Pokemon get nerfed simply because of a moveset. I ended up seeing Count Gensela actually send out a tweet about that, and I think a lot of people agree with that. But anyways, we go ahead and move on. From the dragon typing, we're actually seeing some pretty decent moves. Some that are going to help from the PvP side, and then some that are going to actually help from the raid side as well. So that's looking good. But then unfortunately, as far as the ice type moves are concerned, we've got no ice type quick move. I did find one interesting scenario on the raid side where you can still get around that. And then secondarily, we end up seeing that the move Icy Wind was preloaded for this Pokemon's moveset and then removed a couple of weeks ago, so no longer having Icy Wind, making it a little bit less viable on that PvP side, which is just so frustrating. So anyways, we go ahead and take a look at some raid results. I wanted to go up against a Giratina, so in this particular case, we're going to end up seeing how this Pokemon gets showcased from the dragon typing. And as far as its ranking is concerned, I had to actually go down pretty far to be able to find this, so we end up seeing that Kyurem is in at the 17th position. We've got some other Pokemon in there, such as Reshiram, that are just, you know, way ahead, and then of course Zekrom potentially up further. But like we said before, as far as it goes as a dragon type attacker, it just simply gets beat by many other dragon type Pokemon because their attack stats are so much higher than Kyurem. But anyways, I did find an interesting situation that I mentioned earlier where we get the hybrid moveset where we can use dragon as well as using the move Blizzard, and that's versus Rayquaza. So any dragon type Pokemon that also has that flying type is double weak to the ice typing. Hence why you're seeing so many ice type Pokemon just kind of like leading the pack in the top 5 positions. But we end up seeing that Kyurem actually takes on the number 9 spot, which that was the best result that I could find from the raid side. And honestly, that's not too bad, but when you've got some non-legendary Pokemon doing much better, these are clearly going to be the better budget investments. You don't want to get a legendary Pokemon and it's extremely expensive to power up just to have it come in 9th and be beat by a bunch of non-legendary Pokemon. So unfortunately for Kyurem, as far as the raid side is concerned, it is a little bit nerfed to some extent. The moveset truly did hurt it, especially not having a quick move of the ice typing that could have given it an alternative option to it. But anyways, if we go ahead and take a look at the PvP rankings, we end up seeing in the Master League that it ends up being ranked at 34th. That is not bad at all. But once again, if Blizzard was switched out with Icy Wind, I would argue that you could see it go up even further because Icy Wind is an amazing move. But anyways, when we take a look at this Pokemon, it's honestly a double-edged sword. When you take a look at some of those key wins, you're seeing quite a bit of common Pokemon up there that were just dominating that Master League, especially the Giratinas, for example, and as well as Kyogre. I've always had a lot of problems going up against Kyogre. But the flip side to all of this is the key losses. The key losses have just as many key Pokemon that are meta as well. So it kind of splits down the middle, if that makes sense. It can beat some of the meta, gets beat by some of the meta. So it's not going to be a super dominant Pokemon. You're going to have to really work around this Pokemon to find a way for it to actually work in the game, which is a little bit unfortunate because, like we said, it got Icy Wind loaded and then taken out. A lot of people were excited about that. It would have really shown off in the PvP side. But anyways, if we go ahead and take a look at the future value of this Pokemon, we've got the black Kyurem as well as the white Kyurem. And in this particular case, what ends up happening is this Pokemon is kind of viewed as a fusion between Reshiram and Zekrom. You can kind of tell by the tails, for example, that, oh, okay, that kind of looks like Zekrom's tail. And then, oh yeah, this kind of looks like Reshiram's tail. Just wanted to throw that out there for those of you who haven't seen that or heard that from the main series. But these Pokemon have an amazing set of stats, and the way that it's probably going to end up coming out in Pokemon Go, of course, could be speculation, but when we saw Giratina Origin come out and then Giratina Altered, they just treated them as Giratina Candy and then just two different forms. It's very possible this could happen with the black or white, which is actually a very good thing for us, because what this means is you can go out there and raid Kyurem now, build up your candy, and then when the black and white end up coming out in the future, you've already got everything ready to go. You can power it up and be set on that. So it's going to be worth it. As far as the Max CP is concerned, this is with the nerfs being put in and everything. A Max CP of 4,605, which is insane. An amazing attack stat. The stamina stat, of course, stays the same, but it basically gets that boost in the attack stat. So there's a lot of positivity going on with this Pokemon's family in general, but unfortunately, a lot of the hype lies with the black Kyurem as well as the white Kyurem and not the base form Kyurem. So just kind of look at it as a piggy bank of just getting that candy, investing it into it, and then of course putting it into these versions once those versions end up coming out. So is this Pokemon worth powering up? In my opinion, it's going to be a big fat no. Is it worth unlocking secondary charge move? I don't really think so. I think this one is an unfortunate Pokemon. Go ahead and tack it up to the list with a Pokemon like Ho-Oh, Suicune, and I'm sure a couple of other legendary Pokemon that just simply can't get a good moveset as far as what Pokemon Go is giving them. But anyways, I would love to know what you think about Kyurem in the comments section below. Do you plan on using it? Do you plan on raiding it anyways? Let me know what your plans are in the comments section below, and I will see you next time. Huge shout out to the supporters over at Patreon. If you would like to get exclusive perks, make sure to check out that link in the description, and I will see you next time.